はい、お久しぶりです。ようこです。今日はね、Hana English のHarunaさんと10分英会話 with Reiko の Reiko さんと対談した動画をお届けします。で、今日の動画、対談全体の途中からなんですけど、発音ってみんな言うけど、そんなに大事なんていう話とか、訛りは実は武器になるよっていう話から海外の恋愛事情にまで話が発展したので、ぜひ英語のリスニングがあったら聞いてもらえたらなと思います。お二人のチャンネルでも対談の動画出てるので、ぜひチェックしてください。あと、文字数の関係と今回の対談英語やったっていうことで、日本語字幕全編タメ口になってるんですけど、お二人の方の動画で日本語話すときはちゃんと敬語で話してるので、そのところご理解お願いいたします。
That's the almost like a nature that we are born with as Japanese. Like we try to be
too modest.
Too modest, exactly. In here, some people would come up, even like restaurant, if they find out like I'm from Japan, like a Japanese, then they try to try out the Japanese, like, oh, I'm learning Japanese through like anime or video games or whatever, right? So then all of a sudden, like this waiter is like, Teme, I learned this Japanese like on video game. I was like, okay, that's a good start. But their English is great. But probably for Japanese people, it's not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's just that very Japanese mentality.
Yeah,
you're never good enough.
Yeah, because even if, say, like in Japan, you're learning English and like, okay, this person from America came and I'm serving them right at the restaurant. First thing they would say is, my English is not that good, but okay, I'm gonna try. But just forget about that. Your English is good enough.Right? Just don't be so modest about it. Just, I mean, your English in that viral video was really good, but it
felt good, didn't it?
Yeah. I was like, that's the attitude. Like, hallelujah, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I love that attitude.
But I still get, a comment saying like, when was it? So I filmed a video where I reacted to American guy reviewing my English, and he said he only saw maybe 1 minute of that video of me talking English, and he decided that I'm between fluent and kikoku shijo, not below kikoku shijo, but fluent enough to convey messages and stuff like that. So I received his review very positively, and I put out a video. But there are some people still, you're never gonna get there. You're never gonna be like a native speaker or something.
Yeah.
That's not. You're never gonna be a native speaker because you're not. But you can't become fluent enough to communicate with them. So that's what
absolutely
you do, right? So that's what you want to do. So
I mean, what's so good about sounding like native, right? I think it's not. I'm not just saying that to make you feel better, but I think what you want to say is, I think, more important. Like with perfect grammar and perfect pronunciation, but still there's no substance in what you're saying, right? Then you are just boring person with perfect English. I do have accent too. Is that atsu?
Atsueigo, yeah.
Atsueigo. Yeah, so he was calling his English like international, right?
Yeah.
And that's just perfect. Like no one speaks so-called perfect English, right? Even native speakers, depending on where you're from. Everyone sounds different. So you gotta focus on more like human side of it, other than just you gotta be away from more like technical like aspect. You talked about like gay marriage. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was stalking you. So I've seen it all. I loved
it so much.
I loved, by the way, what is that? What, yes or no?
Yeah.
And I'm always like, yes.
I want to join.
It gets pretty deep in thought. I just love that channel too. But anyway, it doesn't matter what you're talking about, like relationship or politics or anything, right? Just what you're thinking, what you want to share, like right here, is more important than how perfect your English is. So
you're right, because there's no such thing as, I've made videos where I say, speak like a native speaker, things like that. But what native speaker? You know, there's so like thousands and thousands of different accents out there. And even within English, like you go to Scotland, they speak English, but it's a completely different type of English from what I'm used to. And same goes for Australian English. Some, you know, in Japan, they say, oh, Australian English, Australia wa namatteru. Things like that. But compared to what? You know, I think it just comes down to preference.
And also it kind of
how you want to speak.
The accent is more like to me like flavor, you know, you're just adding some flavor or just, you know, personality or character to you. Like because of that tiny bit of accent, in my ears, it's not that detectable. I thought your English was really good, right? Or Aussie accent or anything. Just, you know, it just adds to that person's characters, right? So I'm kind of selling it here. Like, of course, you know, that'd be nice if I could speak perfectly, like no mistakes and no mispronunciation. But at the end, I'm Japanese. So, you know, people are like, oh, where are you from? And if I say I'm from Japan, we can kind of like start new conversation. It's more like icebreaker, right? With strangers. Or if I hear someone, like some Aussie accent here, I would definitely ask the person like, oh, where did you get that accent from? Then if, you know, he or she says like, oh, I'm from Australia, then just, you know, it's always a great conversation starter. So I don't know, just getting rid of it is first of all impossible, but second, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's
Yeah, so I have this Russian friend. He's a dancer and he has a partner, but the partner is from France. So when they get together and make choreo and stuff, they speak English. She speaks English with a very strong French accent. So he had a French accent English as well. So it's kind of interesting. You know, he's from Russia, but still his English has a French accent. It's really interesting.
I mean, I can only speak for someone I know from here. But maybe Haruna can talk more about it. But here, if you have like French accent, everyone's gonna just fall for you. It's just
really?
Oh my gosh, did you hear the accent? And they can actually take, you know, advantage of that accent.
Really? French accent?
Oh my gosh, there's something
French
about
accent.
it.
You know, a lot of people find French sounds beautiful, but do you agree with that? I don't personally.
The French language or French people?
French people speaking English.
Oh, I quite like it. I've gotten to like it. I've gotten to like it. Yeah. I don't know if there's a sexy accent, but yeah, I quite like it.
I found the accent very, I don't know, makes that person very human in a way.
Yeah,
you know, so I just want to know more about that person. I cannot mimic, but just French accent, it's just so soft. I don't know, sounds just so romantic in my ears.
Wow.
What's your take on that, Yoko?
Well, when I first learned French language, I don't know, I couldn't stop laughing out loud by the unique sound of the language. Like, for example, maybe Haruna, you know some French words probably, but the word prefer in French, you know, it's pronounced préféré. when I first learned out, what is this? Are you serious?
What the is that?
I think I find that really difficult with learning French when you know English, because you look at a word and sometimes it's so similar and you go, oh, that's easy, and you try to pronounce it, but like what you said before, it's similar but it's same but different. Not even same actually. And even the pronunciation, like AI is always a sort of sound, but then in English it's not always like that. So when I come back from France and I look at signs outside, I get really confused. Like back in Australia, I go, what's that shop? Oh no, that's not how you read it. You know, you have to kind of switch.
Like I mentioned earlier, I did date a French guy in New Zealand. So we were in university together, and he didn't have thick accent, but definitely he has a little French flavor. Yeah, I totally fell for it.
Because of the accent.
Because of
like that.
I was like, just keep talking to me through, just overnight, just, and I'm gonna fall asleep.
Well, I kind of understand, but not just French people speaking English. I was dating this guy, and of course he had a very strong French accent. But when he speaks French, I don't know, he sounded the sexiest in the world. I don't know why.
Oh wow!
So I asked him to read something out from.
Yeah, and also, don't they? Okay, I only have just one experience with this guy, so I don't want to generalize, but just when they say, or he said like romantic things with French accent, like he wasn't shy being romantic at all, and he says like things like super romantic, it's like a casual attitude with French accent, and I'm like, oh. Like, say it again.
You're like, come back.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm just dead with that. Just not just like his accent, but just the whole combo, right?
Yeah.
Just what he was saying and how he was saying it.
Do you think Frenchmen are more romantic than other European guys, like Americans or Australian guys? What do you guys think?
I just heard French guys are more romantic than anyone else. Like definitely
anyone else. Wow.
Anyone else, like you hear like Italian guys are very passionate.
Yeah.
And very like sexual too. But French guys even more so. That's what I hear. And Americans, compared to like Italians and French, they're definitely more romantic, and they are not shy from being like sexually attracted to you. They would verbally say it, and they're definitely not shying away from that. So sorry, that's how I
definitely have to agree. I mean, I don't know Americans very well, but I feel like French people in general, they don't shy away from like confrontations or anything they don't feel comfortable with. They don't just swallow it. They'll let you know somehow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whereas I think with Australians, again, generalization, but I feel they're a little bit more similar to Japanese.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I feel they don't like confrontation, first of all, a lot of people. So if there's an issue, they try to solve it, but in a different manner. They go, how do I say this? Whereas French people, they actually really just come up to you.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, I actually have a problem with this. Like really upfront. Initially, I was so taken back, and I go, like, what do I say? But they're just so used to discussions. I think it's just a survival technique that's embedded in them. I think just living in that French harsh society, you need that. You need that skill. Whereas in Australia, we're all quite comfortable. Yeah, we're quite chillaxed. So I feel we don't really need that sort of skill in some way. But so I feel like they're probably a bit more romantic in that way, because they're okay with expressing their feelings, their true feelings. If they love you, they'll say they'll love you. Whereas Australians, maybe a lot of them might take a little more time.
What's your impression, Yoko?
They don't hesitate to make out in public. That's my impression I had.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So outside Japan, basically, when you start dating someone, you're not gonna decide what you are in the very beginning, but gradually get to know each other, and eventually, one or the other introduce you
as a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say we had one night thing one time, and we meet again. Even though we only met once, they just are not hesitant to kiss you in public or holding your hands in public. So it's it was very confusing to me. I I was like, are we something?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, but they're not hesitant at all. Like
Yeah,
once
I
you
agree.
cross the line, you're intimate already, and you don't
Yeah.
have to say exactly what you are.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what I heard. So just like the same attitude, they are good at complimenting. So for Japanese person, if just random guy friend says like, "Oh, you look pretty today," or like, "I like your dress," or "Did you get a haircut? Your hair looks good," or anything like that, right? Those tiny little things, and then I would think, oh my gosh, does he have crush on me? Like a little bit. Is he flirting with me? But what I heard was like Americans are pretty good at it. They would say like, "Oh, hey, sexy," and I'm like, where did that come from? But I guess it sounds like French guys are even like one step ahead, and they would compliment with like those words, right? But sometimes they don't mean too much, right? It's not like they like you. It's not like they're
It's
trying to
literally
flirt.
like nampa. Yeah?
Yeah, number, but just there's no intention of like hooking up with you. Just I guess kind of like appreciating you in a way with like those beautiful words. Well, I don't know.
Yoko?
I don't know. That depends on the person, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think it depends on the person. Yeah, maybe they literally just want to compliment you. They go, "Oh, beautiful dress, beautiful bag," whatever it is. Or they have ulterior motives.
Yeah, that's true.
I get kind of a lot when I was working in France. A guy or guys came up to me and told me, "Oh, you're beautiful," and stuff like that. And when I react with a smile, "Oh, thank you," they they just straight up, "Can I have your number? Can I come to you?" Stuff like that. Very straightforward.
It's like, yep, she's accepted.
Yeah. Let's make a move now.
Yeah, exactly. So
they don't waste time, do they?
I know.
No.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that. If you're not used to that, receiving compliments and stuff, and walking around Paris all by yourself, then you have to be careful. Yeah. Sometimes you have to shut them out in order for you to decide if you like them or not.
Yeah. But I can totally picture that, like with your beautiful long black hair and just with hair. Like Paris breeze and
the
probably
breeze.
Women probably fell for you too, like, oh, check out.
A lot of them like Asian long dark hair. Dark hair.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, so in Japan you do see a lot of like girls with shorter hair, right? And like this hair is considered super short in America. And you don't see many women having like bobbed haircut or like, I guess, long bob. I guess guys really like long hair. At first I was kind of annoyed because my husband, even when we're dating, like if I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a haircut," he would say just passively, "Oh, like you're gonna get like big trim," or like, "Is it just a tiny bit of trim? Like how much are you gonna?" And I was like, "Okay, it's none of your business." But he was like, "I think you look better
with long hair."
And now because I got pissed off so many times, now he's like, "Okay, you can get whatever you like." But I'm like, yeah, like even like little girls too, all the like hair is like down here. So I was wondering, it's the same in Australia, France.
With long hair?
Long hair, yeah. Guys tend to like longer hair.
Ooh.
ゲス女英会話の
本が出ました。
学校で習ったけどいまいちいつ使うのかよくわからん文法のあれこれを
リア充爆発しろ。
いや
お母さん上に上がってきてお姉ちゃんめっちゃ俊敏に BL の同時に隠してたクソワロ
といった下水例文とともに分かりやすく解説。英語ペラペラになるのにトイックで800点とかいらない。ネイティブの8歳児レベルで英語扱えれば自由度凄まじい。マジで。いやでも仕事とか受験とかでトイックいるしって人はそういうの強いように 全国大手書店にて絶賛発売中。 Amazon や楽天、電子書籍もあるので概要欄のリンクをチェックしてね。